So now that we've done matrix multiplication, a lot of really popular problems that they have is, these two matrices, they put words to it, and they want to see, is A times B or is B times A, is that meaningful or meaningless? So let's go ahead and take a look at this problem really quick. What we have is that matrix A shows the number of servings of food each person ate that day, and matrix B shows the number of fat, carbs, and proteins and a serving of each food. And what I'm asking, I want to explain the meaning of B times A and A times B to see if they're even meaningful or meaningless. Well, I just want to recall something real quick from the previous lecture. If we have some matrix A, like A, B, C, D, E, F, how do we find the size of a matrix? This right here, the size of this matrix A is a 2 by 3. Right, it's a 2 by 3, and because you went down and then to the right. Now, how can you multiply matrices? In order to multiply matrices, if A is a 2 by 3, and B is, say, a 3 by 5, A times B, which is a 2 by 3, times a 3 by 5, these guys had to match up. Remember how we did this? And if they matched up, then you're able to multiply. We're going to be using that exact same thought process here, but now we're going to be using words. So check this out. What we're going to do is, let's look at matrix A. My matrix A, so we don't need this anymore. My matrix A, both are 3 by 3s. That's what I'm not worried about that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the names by the food. So A, I'm going to say this is the, going down the column, this is going to be names by food. Okay? And as for my matrix B, going down, this is going to be my food by, we'll call it our nutrients, fats, carbs, and nutrients. All right, we'll call it nutrients. So this will be food by, we'll just call it nutrients for right now. Okay, so here's the thing. If I do B times A, you would have a food by nutrients times the names by food. But here's the issue with that. These middle terms don't match up. So whenever you multiply this, you're going to get garbage, like honestly nothing. This is absolutely meaningless. Because whenever you multiply the nutrients with the names, you're not really getting anything, okay? So B times A is absolutely meaningless, okay? Because the middle terms don't match up. But watch what happens. I'm going to erase mine. Watch, oh, there it is. Watch what happens whenever we do B times A, or sorry, A times B. When I do A times B, this is the names by food times the food by nutrients. And so what happens, because these middle guys match up, yes, this matrix, when I do A times B, is going to definitely be meaningful. So when I do A times B, the matrix that I'm going to get, so let's do A times B. So coming over to our calculator, I already personally installed A and B, so just to save on time. So A times B, I'm going to end up getting 166, 72.99. Then I'm going to get 335, 192, and 227. Then we're going to get 112, 64, and 62. And what this matrix gives me is, remember what we did last time, whenever we first started multiplication, it said, yes, we're able to do it. And so what's going to happen, I'm going to put my names along the left, right? The outputted matrix is going to be names by nutrients. So my names, I'm going to have Sandy, David, and Bob on the left. I'm going to have Sandy, David, and Bob here on the left. And across the top, I'm putting my nutrients. I'm going to put my fat, your carbs, and your protein. And so with this, once we have this matrix, we can answer any type of follow-up question they can have. They can maybe say, how many carbs did David have? Well, you come here and say David had 192, like grams of carbs. You know, that's, oh, it's a lot of carbs. But anyways, point being, you can answer, you know, whatever you need from there. So whenever it has words, and is it meaningful or meaningless, instead of setting up the numbers, because the numbers most times, the size of the matrix, that's not going to be an issue. They're normally always going to be the same size. Instead, put the words. So matrix A was the names by the food, and matrix B was the food by your nutrients. And so that was really easy to tell when I did A times B. The middle terms matched up, which means that it is going to make sense. And then the output of matrix will be the your output of